Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel. I posted this body cam footage from Jacksonville, Florida, showing a black military vet being pulled over by an officer there and really being mistreated. This brought up issues of whether a police officer can pull over somebody based just on a hunch. It brought up issues of a warrantless arrest and whether there was probable cause. And it brought up issues of whether racism was involved.
Put your hands out the window. Whenever I have my lights on.
I rolled the windows down, put my driver's license, my registration out the window. That's y'all supposed to ask when y'all first pull somebody over, right? Y'all ain't do none of that. Come on, I'm not supposed to stop a law-abiding citizen.
Shut your mouth. Did you? How many different sirens did I turn on?
Listen, I'm a black man in America.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm terrified of the police.
Mr. Black Man, I'm asking you a question. Get in the car. Shut your mouth.
77 for the car.
Now there has been an internal affairs investigation and the report is out.
Turn the car off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Put your hands out the window. Put your hands out the window.
You may be asking yourself, where have I heard this obnoxious, annoying accent before? Well, you may have heard it here. You may have heard it elsewhere in the media. This is Jacksonville police officer Justin Peppers. And as I mentioned, he was investigated by Internal Affairs following the release of this body cam footage. I'm not sure if you're going to be really happy with the result. Okay, so for some reason, YouTube age restricted this video, even though this footage was already used in a fully approved and monetized video that I did like 8 months ago. This stuff is just so ridiculous. But let me just briefly describe what happens. The guy puts both of his arms out the window, as you can see, and the cops grab his arms, and this particular cop tells him to keep his mouth shut. Then they put him in handcuffs, and they take him to the back of the police car. I'll put a link to the full video in the first comment. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, Ridge Wallet. If you had to choose the vehicle version of the Ridge Wallet, what better than the brand new Hennessy Bronco Velociraptor? Without spending $1, you can enter on their website for the chance to win this brand new upgraded Hennessy Ford Bronco or 75 grand cash if you prefer cash. Buy a Ridge Wallet now and you'll get up to 1 bonus entry for every $1 that you spend on the site, and custom Hennessy products come with up to 1,000 entries. If you use my link ridge.com/TCRL, you'll get 10 bonus entries, and if you use my code TCRL, you'll get 10% off as well. I've been using my Ridge Wallet for almost a year now. I love it. It expands and holds up to 12 cards plus room for cash while remaining as slim as possible. I also have the matching key case, and it securely holds 1 to 6 keys, prevents them from jingling, and it just works. You'll see what I mean. And you might as well buy them together because you get up to 30% off your order when buying the Ridge Wallet and key case together. This wallet has up to 80,000 5-star reviews. Ridge is so confident that you'll like it that they'll give you a 99-day test drive, and you can send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. This durable material means that each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. If you use my link ridge.com/TCRL, you'll get 10 bonus entries, and if you use my code TCRL, you'll get 10% off as well. Or just go there and enter to win the Hennessy Bronco. Thanks again to Ridge for sponsoring this video and the channel.
Don't move.
I ain't moving. What's up?
Can you unlock it?
Huh? Reach right there. Man, just
Don't
reach
worry
right
about
there.
it. You keep your freaking hands out the window and shut your mouth. I'll figure it out.
Why are police officers so surprised that there are large segments of the civilian population who don't like them? I mean, just look how they treat somebody like this guy, Braxton Smith, a law-abiding Navy veteran who is pulled over, and he's given the treatment that you see in this body cam footage. And supposedly he was pulled over for tint, which is just garbage. He was not cited for any traffic violation. He was stopped. He was pulled out of his car. He was treated this way. So we're left to speculate on why the officer did what he did. Whatever the reason that he pulled him over, this police officer's feelings were hurt. They were hurt by the fact that Mr. Smith opted to drive another 300 yards to the spot of his choosing for this traffic stop. And Mr. Smith articulated several times why he did that. But this police officer has this thing going on. He's refusing to accept it. He's gaslighting Mr. Smith. He's bullying Mr. Smith. The fact that this cop claims that Mr. Smith did not have the right to drive another 300 measly yards down the road to a safer location as a free American, as somebody who's not under arrest for a traffic violation where he feels safe, that is just shameful and wrong.
What's up with this?
Have a seat. I got everything out of his pockets. All right, give me your shoe.
I'm someone law-abiding citizen. You know?
Well, right now, you might be going to jail.
For what?
I'll talk to you about that in a second.
Okay.
What makes this spot safer for you than where I tried to stop you?
I mean, y'all hit the lights on me. I ain't want to pull in the middle of the road. That's dangerous for y'all. I didn't want to pull in a well-lit area. You get y'all out of traffic.
Okay.
I ain't stupid.
So, do you think that making a safe spot for us is something that you're authorized to do?
I mean, I ain't think that require authorization. I'm trying to be safe just like y'all. I ain't posing a threat. I seen y'all circling
Wait,
at the
so
store.
are you trying to be safe? You're trying to find a safe spot for you or for me?
For both of us.
No, you don't get to do that.
Okay, that's understandable.
You can make a claim that you're trying to make a safe spot for you. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right. Why is this spot safer than that spot?
It's a well-lit area. I mean, it's not in the middle of the road.
You see all those? You see all those street lights down there?
I understand what you're saying, but
So why is this spot more well lit than down there?
I mean, what was so detrimental between me stopping right there and stopping right here?
Well, actually, I'd like to ask you that. Why did you keep driving?
I just told you that. I just told you that. Why would
There's
I
a
want
lot
to
of
stop
moving around in that car.
You just looked in it.
There's a lot of moving around
When?
Whenever I have my lights on.
I rolled the windows down, put my driver's license, my registration out the window. That's the y'all supposed to ask when y'all first pull somebody over, right? Y'all ain't do none of that. Come on, I'm not posing to throw a law-abiding citizen.
Shut your mouth. Don't get all fucking loud with me. They ain't gonna change nothing.
Hey,
here.
I'm just talking. I'm having a conversation with you, right?
No, you're trying to talk over me and you're trying to set up a defense for yourself. Because what you did is called fail to obey. It's a fleeing charge and it's a felony 3.
Okay.
If you'd like to go to jail on a felony charge, I'm good with it.
I will not.
All right. Well, then quit trying to talk your way out of this and just talk to me and actually tell the truth. Because I'm not stupid. Okay? I know you're trying to play me.
Okay.
So why didn't you stop?
I just told you why I didn't
Because
stop.
you think you're smarter than everyone
else. Look what you
else.
just did to me. You just snatched me out my car. I rolled the windows down and gave my license, my registration. You ain't read me no right. You snatched me out the car.
You're damn right I did. Why did I do that? Why?
I don't know. I had the slightest idea.
How about because?
Run my name.
For 300 yards, I had my lights. How many different sirens did I turn on?
Listen, I'm a black man in America.
I'm asking you a question.
I'm terrified of the police.
Mr. Black Man, I'm asking you a question. How many different sirens did I turn on? And how many times did I lay on my horn?
I have this, like, when you said pull over, I pulled over. You said throw the keys out of the car, I complied.
No, when I said pull over was back there when I turned my lights and sirens on. Get in the car.
Okay. Damn, you know the more
Get in the car. Shut your mouth.
7 for the car.
And that's probably a great spot to discuss the news on this case. And this comes from First Coast News. They've done a lot of great reporting on this officer and this stop. I'll link the story in the first comment here and also at the blog. So here's what they said. A Jacksonville officer with a history of combative traffic stops demonstrated unbecoming conduct when he arrested a black military veteran in November. An internal affairs report obtained by First Coast News shows the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office concluded Officer Justin Peppers has demonstrated a history of repeated infractions of JSO orders. So after this body cam footage surfaced, apparently in addition to Braxton Smith, 14 different people complained to this department about this guy's behavior. According to the internal affairs report, Officer Peppers admitted that the response that he gave about, okay, Mr. Black Man, was inappropriate. But he said that he was just being sarcastic. And then, surprise, surprise, the report concluded that this comment was not bias-based. In other words, the guy's just a jerk. The guy's just an asshole. Internal Affairs found that Peppers had repeatedly demonstrated a lack of ability in refraining from the use of coarse language while speaking with the public in tense situations. The report cites an August 2022 encounter where he told a suspect, "Don't effing move, face the car right now. Just because you're pregnant, don't mean you can act like an effing ass. Stand there and don't effing move." Charming guy. And as First Coast News also reported, the prosecutor's office last year flagged this police officer after they found that his reports were inconsistent with his body cam video. In 2 cases, Officer Peppers claimed that a suspect resisted with violence when it was actually he, Officer Peppers, who actually instigated the violence. In both of those cases, prosecutors were forced to drop all of the charges. And even before that, Officer Peppers had a history of confrontational traffic stops. In 2021, a couple he ticketed for excessive tint 3 times in 2 months accused him of stalking and harassment. The couple called 911 on Peppers twice and even obtained a restraining order against him before a judge rescinded it days later. Police investigators also reviewed a use of force incident in September of 2019 when a man that Peppers was arresting appeared prepared to spit. After struggling to place a spit mask on him, Peppers ultimately punched the handcuffed man in the face twice. And that brings to mind another video that I recently did. I think it's up to like 2.6 or 2.7 million views of a police officer who was fired within 3 days for punching somebody who was handcuffed for allegedly spitting. Okay, so what are the takeaways here? Well, one of the takeaways is that, look, 14 different people complained to this police department after seeing this video on YouTube or this body cam footage in the media. So what does that tell us? It's important that when you see these things that you complain to your politicians, that you complain to your so-called public servants. It can get results, but all too often the results that we obtain are what we see here. Police officers are frequently disciplined for unprofessional conduct or something like that, for using swear words or something of that nature, something that does not rise to the level of a constitutional violation. Why do they do that? Because they can't be sued for violating their internal department policy. They can't be sued for being unprofessional. They could be sued for violating the Constitution. So they're not generally in these biased investigations going to admit that the Constitution was violated, because then that could be used against them. That is why Congress gave us the remedy to file a federal lawsuit under Section 1983. Police officers are not allowed under the Fourth Amendment to pull people over just based on a hunch that they have. The Constitution also does not allow police officers to pull people over based on the color of their skin. The Constitution does not allow police officers to pull people over and detain them for any reason at all unless they have reasonable suspicion that some actual crime or traffic law has been violated. I think it's also the case that the First Amendment was violated, because as we see in a lot of other videos, as soon as somebody expresses fear or criticism of a police officer, either by driving to a better lit area or by expressing that they're afraid of them, they get retaliated against. And if that happens, there can be a lawsuit for First Amendment retaliation. That very well could be a viable lawsuit here. Usually where there's smoke, there's fire. It sounds like there are a lot of complaints that have piled up on this officer. Hopefully something will be done about it. We can't depend on prosecutors to prosecute this guy, even though they've already admitted that he's really not truthful, that the body cam footage is showing something different than he's swearing to under oath in his police reports. Keep complaining, keep bringing forward information on this police officer. This is one of the most important things about YouTube, and it's unfortunate that YouTube likes to censor body cam footage and police misconduct sort of videos. This is one of the most important aspects of our First Amendment rights, because even though our government doesn't necessarily want us to see these things, we see them, we discuss them, we spread them around, and that is what is most effective. Lawsuits have qualified immunity. These videos, so long as these videos don't get censored, there's no qualified immunity here. So as always, thanks for watching. Please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell notification, because YouTube can be very fickle about who they notify. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it. I'll see you next time.